Hey everybody, Kerzac here again, and today I'm reviewing the Transformers Kingdom's core class, Soundwave. For some reason I forgot what the class is called. Legends class, core class, they all kind of blend together at this point. Legion, Commander. Well, I guess not Commander anymore, that's a different thing. Anyway, so here we have the core class Soundwave, and you can see he's pretty small. They give you an idea of just how small. Let's see, Siege, Mirage, just to show you that, yep, good bit smaller than a Deluxe here. And speaking of small Deluxes, Earthrise Cliff Jumper, you see he's still smaller than even Cliff Jumper there. So let's get those two out of there. And just to give you one more idea, oh, that went Mirage, he's dead now. Just one more idea, here's a Siege Micromaster, if we can get him to stand. He won't, the Micromaster won't stand, but you can see, you know, good bit taller than Micromaster still, so he's a decent size for core class. Seems to be this nice little legend, basic replacement for a nice little legend scale figure. And getting up close on him, you can see that he's actually pretty nicely detailed. You know, he's got the red eyes, he's got the helmet shaped like a Decepticon sigil. He's got the Decepticon sigil on his chest, got some yellow paint around the edges there, or actually this is gold paint, a little bit gold on the edges there. Silver right there, silver on the legs, red. No red on the top of the cannon, but red on the front. The actual little missiles or little laser points in there are actually painted, and the shoulders are painted. All the details you expect to see on a G1 Soundwave is actually pretty well painted there. So for a little tiny figure, I gotta give Hasbro credit. He's really well painted for his size. As you see, he has all the accessories you kind of expect from a Soundwave. He's got his shoulder cannon, he's got the cannon he can hold. And speaking of accessories, he actually still has his gimmick of having the tapes inside of his chest. Not only does his chest open up, but he actually comes with a really tiny little laser beak. Now, this does not transform, but you can actually see they actually did paint Laserbeak's colors on there. You got silver mainly around it, but then you have a little bit of red dotting the middle there. And the details are actually pretty well painted on that. Like that's, and the fact that they even did that at this scale, like I was kind of just surprised to even see that his chest opened up at all, let alone that he came with a tiny little laser beak that is actually painted. It's a surprising amount of detail from Hasbro, especially for a little core class figure. I don't have any of the other ones on hand, but I did have the Bumblebee that came with the spikes set, and I did have Megatron. And both of those were still decent, but this is definitely going above and beyond. This is like the perfect little desk Soundwave to just keep and mess around with. And speaking of mess around, his head does come on a swivel, so you can turn it this way and that way. It's technically ball jointed, but it's mainly just for transformations, but you can have them look up. Shoulders are ball jointed, so full articulation there, can go that far out, can't quite go to 90 degrees, but it's almost there. Ball joints at the elbow, so all that good stuff. Nothing at the wrist, nothing at the waist, but this is a very tiny little core class figure, so that's not too surprising. This piece right here does flip up the crotch plate there with the play buttons, so you can get the legs fully forward, though it's still not quite 90 degrees because you bump into that plate there. You can go that far, you can go all the way out, get the high kicks going. Get the swivel at the leg, do get a 90-degree knee, and you even do have a little bit of ankle articulation as his ankles can go back and forth, and they are ball jointed to tilt slightly to the side, so you can get him in a slightly more natural A stance than just standing straight. So nothing too crazy, but for considering the size, I mean, you can see my hand here, he is smaller than my hand. He is quite an articulated little figure. I mean, even not even comparing him to old school Legends from like 2008 or so, but even just comparing him to like Legends Class from Titans Return and Combiner Wars and such, he is a very nicely articulated little figure here. And his transformation is faithful to G1 too, so transforming, we're of course going to just remove his guns. Just take those, pop them off to the side. The hands just flip right in, like so. Head, you're going to turn around 180 and then just flip it on down. You pretty much know how G1 Soundwave's transformation goes. Shoulders come back on these struts, and there is a little tab right on his butt. So you just tab him onto his butt there. Then the legs, you're going to turn face outward. You see more silver paint there, it's pretty nice. Bring him on up, break his knee, tab that in, bring it up, break his knee, tab that in, and just pop the feet inside. And for storage, you can take the guns, and they do peg on the back, and you're going to want to put the one with the laser piece on the front here. You can go on to the shoulder cannon and put them on this side because you can actually see the peg holes are at different spots and they fit better this way. So not quite the full battery compartment like the original toy, but still hides away his weapons pretty well on the back there. And there you have his little tape recorder. And once again, to show you, kind of give you an idea of scale here for this little tape recorder. You can take, say, Siege Mirage here, you see, comes up, doesn't even reach his shins there. So you could actually use this as like a boombox for some characters. You know, if you take Mirage here, put it on his shoulder there, and you can kind of make it look like he's carrying a boombox around. So this can actually work as an accessory for some characters. It's surprising how well it looks, too. It's actually really well decoed again, because most of it's carried over from robot mode, obviously, but they did get all the silver on the sides here. Little stripes of silver there. The gold stripes actually line up on both the legs and the chest, which is pretty surprising. Usually those kind of details get lost or messed up, or just not done at all. So it's $10 for a little core class, and yeah, it does seem like, considering deluxes used to be $10, you know, 10 years ago, it does seem a little hefty for price, but it is really well painted and articulated for its size. It's a very nice little figure. The only thing that's really sticks out about the not vehicle mode, the cassette player mode, is that the feet do still stick out. And there's really not much you can do that, because even if you flip the feet around, fold it back down, you still have something sticking up. It's just more flat instead of angular. So that is really the only thing they could harp on. You know, if you really want to, you can kind of leave the feet flipped down, just have them be the tops of the deck, and that kind of works. So however you prefer to do that. They even did mold in his the little eject button. It doesn't work, obviously, but the fact that it's even there, it's, like I said, really a nice amount of detail for a little core class. This is really impressive, honestly. So yeah, that's core class Soundwave. Considering deluxes are heading towards the $20 and even $23 price point, and core classes are only $10, I think he's definitely worth it. He's a nice little figure. He's decent, like I said, a decent desk toy. Obviously, he's not meant to fit in with the much larger deluxes as far as scale goes, but if you just want a fun little Soundwave to stick on your desk and mess around with, he's a great little toy. So, this has been Kerzac. I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope you have a great day. Take care.